Nice. Cool, man. So, welcome.
Thank you.
Why don't you start out? I mean, I know who you are. We've met, out in
Sure.
out in the ether or whatever. But why don't you introduce yourself to all the people on the cameras here?
Sure. Okay. Okay. Well, my name's Alain Nisam, and I am I guess the band leader and owner of the band Shredding Flannel. And I say it that way because it really is a business. A lot of people in music, either it's a passion thing or it's a business, and there's kind of people in between as well. And I've been playing music since singing since I was born, basically. Started singing in the Metropolitan Boys Choir, which is a famous choir in the Twin Cities.
Mm-hmm.
Probably started when I was like literally 8 years old or something like that. So I had to read music for that. Had to, it was a very formal thing. Like went on tour in Scandinavia, just a whole bunch of stuff. And then picked up the guitar when I was probably 12 or so. My aunt's classical guitar, nylon string classical guitar. Had no idea what I was doing and just started making noise, but I stuck with it. And back then there was no YouTube, there was no internet, so you either had to have a good ear and learn stuff by ear, or you had to know how to read music, or you had to know how to read tab. But even if you knew how to read tab, you had to find it. Again, no internet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, where do you go to learn, some obscure song that you want to learn?
Mm-hmm.
It was really difficult. And so what I found is a fourth option, which is you write your own music. So from a very young age, I would just I knew chord structures and things like that, and I would use my fingers. So I was basically like finger picking and writing my own. Mostly, it sounded kind of either like folk or classical music to me. And
what age were you now?
14 is probably when I started
wow.
doing that. Yeah, and really funny story. Well, this comes later, but once I started playing electric guitar and stuff, my mom lived in Golden Valley. Literally, her deck of her house looked out at the KQRS studios, for KQ radio.
Yeah.
And I was probably like 15 or 16, and I brought an amp out on the deck with an electric guitar, and just every day I would just sit there and play with the amp pointed right at KQ, because I was like, someday Tommy B or somebody's gonna come out and hear me playing, and they're gonna come over and be like, "Hey man, you want to be on the radio?" or something like that. And it never happened, but
never materialized.
No, never materialized. No.
KQRS, you missed an opportunity.
I know, yeah,
here.
right?
Yeah.
Seriously, like, come on, guys. So, anyway, so I would listen to tapes. Back then it was tapes. I had a lot of tapes that were worn out because I had to learn the guitar solos, because I got really in depth, and I learned guitar solos for like Van Halen and stuff like that by ear.
Wow.
Just from plunking away. And I realized that there were these structures and patterns, and I was like, shit, if I knew all of the patterns, it would make it a lot easier to learn a guitar solo instead of just trying random notes and being like, well, no. So I went and I diagrammed everything, like wrote out chord charts, scales, melodic minor, harmonic minor, natural minor, everything, like all the modes, everything.
Wow.
Before they started coming out and all these videos
and time in as a teenager.
Oh yeah.
And today you can't get a teenager to literally sit in one spot for 15 minutes.
Yep.
Wow.
Actually, it's funny. I talked to my mom today, and she goes, because I told her I was coming to this podcast. She goes, yeah, when you were like 15, 16 years old, I really thought that I would find you on the streets of Minneapolis when you were older, like playing guitar, like homeless, playing guitar for money, like with your guitar case out. And I was like, well, kind of. I mean,
I have a car, but yeah, I mean.
So anyway, then my first band was probably when I was 15, I want to say, and horrible.
You remember the name of it?
Oh my, we didn't even have a name.
You didn't even have a name. Okay.
I remember that Brian Callen was in it. He lived in Golden Valley. He lived by me. I don't remember any of the other people. I don't remember anything.
Is Brian Callen somebody you still know?
No, I don't. I don't know him.
Okay.
I haven't seen him
remember the name.
Forever. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was horrible. But then then like in school, I got into like, for a talent show, I was in a band and we played some Jimi Hendrix stuff, and that was actually pretty good. And there's a video floating around out there somewhere of me like when I was
You got to
16
get a
years
copy of
old.
it. We got to put it right here
Yeah.
in the podcast, and people need to see this. Alan.
Actually, I mean, I could probably find it. I
That
could
would be
probably
awesome.
talk to somebody who has a copy. Maybe, I don't know. I'll try and I'll see what I can
That'd
do.
be awesome.
I'll get back
man.
to you on that one.
That'd be awesome.
And then
And then pictures of you, like you know.
oh yeah, I had
young
rock
rock and roll hair,
and
yeah.
I was into it. I was very into it. Yeah. So, anyway, so that then I kept singing. So I sang in choirs in high school. Then came university, and I started studying. First, I was studying international development. Kind of off the topic of music, but like I was born in France, hence my name Alain, which is pronounced Alan, but in France it's Alain, and so that's why I have that name. And so I spent all my childhood bouncing back and forth between Minneapolis, or the suburbs, Golden Valley, and for part of the time I was going to France because my dad lived in France. Then he moved to Belgium, so I lived in Belgium. Then he moved to London, so I lived in London. So it was like bouncing back and forth and back and forth. And I learned how to speak French fluently when I was a little kid, just by absorbing it. I mean, I didn't have to work at it at all. And because of that, in university, I was like, I really like the international stuff. So I'm going to study international development. Well, after like 2 years, I dropped out of college. I didn't like it. I was like, screw this, like I wasn't enjoying it.
So tell me a little bit more. What was international development exactly? Like developing countries, or
no? Development is basically like understanding how to go into like a third world country or a country that is in crisis, and understanding how to go there and help and bring aid without having sort of the savior complex thing kick in and stuff like that. Like, so being sensitive to the culture, different cultures, being sensitive to language, things like that. So, for example, I was supposed to go to, I didn't end up doing it, but I was supposed to go to Senegal, Africa, which is in Western Africa, to study. And interestingly enough, I was going to study drum beats. I was going to make music part of what I studied while I was there.
That's cool.
But there, it's a primarily Muslim country, and we spent a lot of time talking about like, some people there practice very like fundamentalist religion, and you can't just walk in there and be like, I'm from America and I know what's best, and you have to do what I do, and you got to be sensitive to it. So, but anyway, I dropped out of that program and came back and enrolled in the School of Music. So started actually studying music for real. I was able to test out of a bunch of classes and stuff just because of my own work that I had done. And then started studying actual classical guitar. So we're talking not finger picking, not folk, not like this, but like real, with your foot up on a little stool and everything, like, and reading music, everything. And loved it, just loved it. I mean, the theory, I knew most of the theory, but we got into like post-tonal theory. We got into sight reading, we got into ear training. So picture there's a guy on a piano and he'll play a chord, and you have to name what chord it is just from hearing it. So he'll give you the key and then he'll play a chord, and then you have to, and then another thing that they would do is they would give you the key, they'd play the chord, they'd play maybe like 1 4 5 in the key, and then give you the first note and tell you what it is, and then play a melody with rhythm and melody, and you have to write it down, just write it down without seeing it or anything. And they'll play it like 3 times, and then you got to write it down.
Wow.
That was intense. That was super intense. Interval training has been super helpful with rock and roll, though, for singing harmonies. So being able to hear where's the tonic, where's the third, where's the fifth, where's the seventh or the sixth, if you're using, those kinds of harmonies. Super cool. And I loved it. And it actually helps with learning new music, to know theory. I would say that to any musician that's kind of coming up, like, just take a little bit of time and learn your theory, because if you figure out what key you're in, there's really a very finite number I mean, music is limitless, right?
Mm.
But harmony isn't in terms of in terms of the Western diatonic scale or the 12-tone chromatic scale. If you're going to get into microtones, like, between C and C sharp, there's an infinite number of notes, right? Between C and C sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's really infinite. But if you're in the key of C, most likely you're going to be playing a G and an F, maybe a D minor, and knowing that just makes it, I can sit down with pretty much any song and just by listening to it, you can immediately hear, oh, that's not in the key. So that's, which I love. I love when you depart from the key, when you either modulate or just add an embellishment, I love that. So, So anyway, so I studied music, and I went back and I actually got a double major, music and French, which my friends laugh at me because, I already spoke French fluently and I already had been playing music since I was, a little kid, and they were like, that's kind of and I was like, I don't care. I just want to get a degree. I don't really care what it's in, and, so then for my business, I started a business with a buddy of mine, doing real estate technology. It has nothing to do with my degrees, and just kept playing music and being in bands the whole time. And then pretty much then I had kids, and then I stopped playing. I played at home by myself. I played for my kids all the time. I mean, when they were in their, I have twin daughters, so they were
Is that right?
born at the same time. Yeah, they're 21 now. They'll be 22 in March. When they were in their mother's womb, I would play and sing to them in French, because I wanted them to get there's all these theories about like the kid, even when they're in the womb, if they hear accents and things, or if they hear music, they might come out with perfect pitch, you never know. And when they were like infants, so twins are usually born around 35 weeks. So they're preemies. And mine were born at 34. And I have video where they're like laying in their crib, and I play one of my favorite chords, C major 7 in second inversion. So you've got a G in the bass. Just play that with open strings, and then I would hold the guitar over the crib and just kind of go like this, because it was a classical guitar. And if you just go like that, it modulates the sound. It's like wow, 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 wow. Just while they're, they were like, they couldn't see or understand or anything, but I just would play chords like that for them and sing to them and stuff. So yeah, I don't know, I was into it.
It's fascinating, man. Yeah, that's fascinating.
Yeah,
a lot of people say they're into music, but it's like, it sounds the opposite. Like music is in you. It's just literally just everything you do.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And now one of my daughters is studying art, so it's artistic, and the other's studying theater, and
awesome.
and part is doing musicals and stuff like that. So
awesome.
I think it definitely wore off on them quite a bit. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you just have the 2 daughters?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Just Zoe and Eden are their names. Just Zoe and Eden.
Zoe and Eden.
Shout out Zoe and Eden if you're seeing this.
Yeah. Sounds like we might need to get Mom on here too to tell some stories about you growing up.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. She could tell. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. I used to lock myself in my room and just play for hours and hours and hours. I mean, I couldn't do that now. My fingers are too old. I mean, I would just play like all day long. It was crazy. Like really into it.
Have you ever seen a young drummer, kind of extraordinaire local guy named Maxwell Locke? His father's name's Bob Locke.
I don't think so. No.
Just there's a common theme running through here, and it's something that I was always jealous of as a kid. Right? You see a young peer who's absolutely obsessed with something at a young age. And I'm absolutely convinced that those are the types of people that by the time they become, a young adult are just fabulous at something.
Yeah, right.
I never was, I mean, I dabbled in a lot of stuff and joined the military when I was out of high school because I didn't know where the hell I wanted to go or what I wanted to do. I just wanted to travel the world and pay some of my own bills. So, but it's fascinating to hear that story. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like what's that book by Malcolm Gladwell? Outliers.
Yeah.
That's where he posits I don't think it's his theory, but the 10,000 hour theory.
Yeah.
If you spend 10,000 hours doing one thing, And it can't just be doing the same thing within that thing over and over. You have to be progressive, challenging yourself.
trying to get
that's
to
what
the,
makes you into an expert
master.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Master. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if he's the one who came up with that, but yeah, it is a
Yeah.
theory that I've heard. And
yeah.
yeah,
So I mean, I've definitely spent way more than 10,000 hours, but and in the beginning when I was a kid, it was always like, if I'm not challenging myself, then I'm wasting my time. So I was very driven. I was always like, I could sit there and play a G chord all day long, but let's figure out how to play a G chord in every position. Let's play a G6 in every position. Let's play a G7. Let's play, et cetera, et cetera. Like it was very, I knew that by doing that, I had to be improving something. I didn't really know what necessarily. I didn't have like an end goal, but I knew that something was getting better by just challenging myself all the time.
So how do you think that kind of driven upbringing, and that self-discipline has built itself in other things you've done in your life? You said you started a successful business.
Yep.
Did that play into that?
That's a really interesting question. So I think that my sort of the thing that motivates me, my turn on in life, the thing that like gets me excited is creation. I like creating things. So for example, music. I don't think it's a coincidence that when I was a kid and I couldn't find tab and I was trying to challenge myself and learn stuff, that I would write music. I was creating something, Then like my kids, I created, kudos to my ex-wife, who also was part of the process. We created kids and then nurtured them, and it was all part of this creation thing. And then like I love to cook. So my kids are now away at school, so I don't cook as much anymore. But back when they lived with me, I only ever made everything from scratch. I always cooked everything. That was creation too. And being able to share your creation with others is also part of the thing that gets me going. So being able to cook something that I've never cooked before and then feed it to my children, eat it with them, whatever, like that was part of it. Then my business, so I was like 22, 23 years old, and my buddy called me and said, "Hey, I want you to come start an internet company with me." And I was like, "Inner what?" Because that was the age of early dial-up. And, AOL, like where you got the free CDs in the mail for like AOL times, like there was not a lot of usage of the internet back then.
This was before Al Gore created the internet. Huh?
Before Al Gore created the internet. Yeah, right. And I said, "Sure, man, I'll do that." And I had a sales background because I had done telemarketing. That was my sales background, telemarketing, So I went with him, and we started to work on this internet business. We had a programmer. They were called developers back then. They were programmers. And I just started to look at the code that he was writing and stuff, and I was like, "That's really cool, man. Like, how does that work? How do you, And he gave me a couple of pointers, and from that point, it just took off. I mean, I was writing. So now I'm in the business, I was the chief technical officer for a while. Then I was the CEO, chief executive officer for a while. And a lot of what we did was just development, like custom development for real estate clients if they wanted like integration with an MLS, like a multiple listing service, like MLS, or SEO, or just a website, or whatever. Like that's what we did. And I just love writing code. Again, creation, creating something. And again, creating something that others are going to see or use, or, whatever, like this can be beneficial. And then today, flash forward to like Shredding Flannel, there's 22 members in the band. There's no way I could manage that without these sort of organizational tools and things that I've built, a lot of which include custom code that I've written to be like, okay, I need to manage like all these people. So for example, if I have a gig, I've got a spreadsheet with everybody's info in one sheet, the gigs in another sheet. Another sheet is the gig rosters, and I can just assign people to the gigs, click a button, and it sends everybody an SMS saying you've been invited. And it's got the venue name, the date, the times, the how much they're going to get paid, minimum, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then there's a link at the bottom. Click here to accept it or decline it. They go in there, they click it, and then that action updates the spreadsheet to say, yeah, they've accepted it or they've declined it or whatever. And then they're in. And then the same thing for rehearsals. Rehearsals is way more complicated. I mean, that's, you know, like, because people want to gig, like they want to, they're excited to go out and play gigs.
Sure.
And I don't think anybody really loves rehearsal. I'll be honest, I don't like rehearsal, you know, especially again with Shredding Flannel, the way that it is, I have to back up. So Shredding Flannel started in mid 2023, and it was myself and a drummer from a previous project named Sean Burns, who's been around, played with a ton of people. You might know him, actually.
Name doesn't sound familiar.
Okay.
No.
Phenomenal drummer.
Not yet.
Amazing drummer. Amazing. Like he drives a truck for a living. And I came up with this plan and stuff, and I came up with a bunch of repertoire. So I gave him like 50 songs. I was like, can you learn these as quick as possible? And he's like, sure. So a week later, he came in to rehearse and he had them all down. And I was like, dude, you don't even have anywhere you can play drums, because he lives in an apartment building. How did you? He's like, just sat in my truck and listened to it. So he's got this mind that he can just, and I mean, he wasn't just keeping a beat, you know, he was catching all the fills and the intros and the
stops and starts,
everything. So so he's not with Shredding Flannel anymore. He was with us in 2023. So then we went and found a bass player. And then at one point, we went through a couple different, you know, just getting started. We went through a couple different talents, and I'm not going to name any names because some people stayed on, some people didn't. But long story short, by sort of summer of 2023, we had a 5-person lineup. So drummer, bass player, female lead singer, male lead singer that also played rhythm guitar, and then myself. And it just took off. So in 2024, we did 57 gigs from a band that really only started, you know, like in the late summer of 2023. So it just took off.
Nice.
Then in 2025, I think it was getting to be a little bit too much for some people. So we kind of had a schism. And in March of 2025, basically the whole rest of the band came to me and said, we're all going to kind of go our own ways. We're professionals, so we're going to play through the next 10 gigs, which got me into June. And then we're all just splitting. Okay. And some of the people that were in the band went off and formed a new band together. Some people actually stayed with Shredding Flannel for a while. And then one person just dropped out completely, out of music. I don't think they're doing anything. But that kind of led me with a crisis. You know, I'm like, okay, well, I've got 30 gigs booked already, and I'm losing 80% of my band. What am I going to do? So I reached out to a bunch of people that I knew in the local music scene, and I told them, I said, and I came up with the idea. I was like, it's the Shredding Flannel Collective. Because I was like, there's no way that I'm going to find people that are crazy enough to agree to do 6 to 8 gigs a month right away. And they're going to be willing to ramp up. And I need to find 4 of them, you know, to make a complete set. So I was like, what if I found 2 people that wanted to do 2 or 3 gigs, or 3 people that wanted to do 2 gigs or 3, you know? And so that I came up with the idea, and I looked at it from an organizational perspective, and I was like, yeah, I think I can make this work. I mean, it's going to be hard, but I think I can make it work. So I started having auditions and brought people in, and did not miss a single gig. So I was able to ramp the new people up within, I think I probably started searching for people in earnest in like early April. And by the beginning of June, we were ready to go. And so now it has continued to expand till now we're at the point of having 22 members in the band. Many of them whom I think you know, like
I know quite a few of them, yeah.
Peter Gard is on drums, Kevin Sundberg also on drums, David Kittleson on bass.
Yep.
He's with Jezebel and used to be with Shirts and Skins. Brian Naughton,
Yep.
Elisa Chapman on vocals. She's just kind of starting right now.
Is that right?
Yeah, just a ton.
Laura Holmes.
Laura Holm,
yeah,
Aaron Holm. Yep. Yeah, I mean, great people. And you know what? Literally every single person that has joined up is a great person, first of all. I mean, I really mean that. Like, everybody just gets along.
Mm-hmm.
I've only had one person I had to let go. I won't name names. I've only had one person I've had like some conflicts with, but we worked it out and everything's fine now. Like, it really has been just an amazing group of people that I think one thing that they really like is that they just show up and play. You know, I handle all the business side of things. I handle all the marketing, all the booking. I encourage them to book as well. So every once in a while there's a gig that comes in. Like David Kittleson has been really great at booking gigs. And I'll plug him. He's got his own agency now too.
He was kind of the guy behind Shirts and Skins initially, wasn't he? The similar sort of scenario.
Yes. So he was very helpful in that respect. Yeah. So he kind of has experience with the modular band kind of theme.
Cool.
And he actually, interesting enough, he led a show on last Friday at Glicks that I wasn't a part of. I was flying back I was in New Orleans seeing
Nine Inch Nails. I saw that in my feed, man. I was jealous.
Was so good.
Is that right?
Oh my God, it was so good.
And it looked like from your pictures, it was one of those where he was like right in the center and everybody's around.
There's 3 stages.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the main guy from, I can't remember the name of the opening band. Something Brothers. It's like an industrial band. He was over here, and then all of a sudden the middle stage lit up. And then he disappeared. I don't know how they were like running back and forth between the stage. They weren't going like underground. They were running right through the crowd. Like there were aisles, but you know. So they were on mainly 2 different stages. And the big stage was, so there's a big stage with 2 huge line arrays and, you know, all the bells and whistles. The middle stage, they call it the acoustic stage. And that was where he started just playing, I can't remember the name of the song, but the, I can't remember the name of the song, but he's playing piano and singing, just him. Just so minimalistic, like and it was awesome.
Yeah,
really,
what an opening, yeah.
Yeah, but then they went to the big stage, and there's like a net around the stage, and probably a bunch of huge hazers, and this array of like lasers or lights or whatever, and they were doing like full-on holograms. So you would look at it and it was like, it wasn't, you know, because of the net and the suspended fog, they were able to suspend like images.
3D.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
There was one part where, and there's camera guys everywhere on the stage.
Is that
like,
right?
Going right up to him, yeah. And at one point there was a camera guy like on Trent, and Trent, you know, was singing, and then all of a sudden there's like 36 Trents on the stage. They were all kind of hazy and kind of whitewashed, you know, but there were 36 like images of him. And then he would like he raised his hand, and then like one guy over here would raise his hand, and then another guy over here would, so they were all time delayed too.
Wow.
It was super, super cool. Wow. Really, really cool. Like if you have a chance to go see them, that was the first, I heard that was the first leg of their tour. So if you have a chance to see them, I would definitely recommend that show. It was great.
Interesting. I haven't seen Nine Inch Nails since I was maybe 25 years, 23, 24 years old. So
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Amazing. Really good show. So anyway, so yeah, I'm now at a point where so when I started Shredding Flannel in 2023, the only idea that I didn't even have the band name. Okay. The only idea that I had was, I think actually Ted Bonafide might have come up with the name.
Is that right?
Or maybe his wife. He doesn't have a wife. Sorry, he doesn't have a wife. He or my bass player's wife. So I'll give credit, you know, like I'm fine. You guys, you know. But the only thing I had in mind The only thing I wanted to do was I wanted to create quality music. And what do I mean by that? Well, for every musician that's out there, when you were young and you were starting out, and hopefully not too much longer after that, you'd play in the basement or in the garage or whatever, and everybody had an amp cranked up, and you couldn't even hear yourself, let alone hear the other players, right? And, I'm 53 years old. So I was like, I can't do this to my ears anymore. I need to protect myself. So I was like, I want to start a band, but I want that band to be super high quality production. And so I came up with the idea, and I knew nothing about it at the time. I mean, I knew it existed, but I came up with the whole concept for the in-ear monitors and all that. Made my own IEM rig with an X32 rack in it and a bunch of other stuff, and like it's fully contained. I mean, it's only 8U and it's fully contained, like works perfectly. It's got a splitter snake in it. So when I'm playing at a venue, I can just hand them the fantail and they just plug it in and away we go. And
it's part of the reason that I said, hey, I actually told Kevin, hey, I want to meet Alan. I want him to be on because I'm a gear nut. I mean, I'm a drummer, but when it comes to like all the back end and I built my own in-ear rig as well, and I love technology and kind of making it all fit together.
So I've got a seismic 32 515. So it's 32 channels with a 5-foot snake and a 15-foot snake. And I use the X32 rack, right? So it's only got 16 XLR inputs, right? And 10 XLR outputs, but it's got an additional 6 quarter-inch inputs, and an additional 6 quarter-inch outputs. And I rigged it all up. So I did the conversions from quarter-inch to XLR and everything. And I did I reversed the polarity too. So now when you look at my rig, the first 16 channels are all inputs. It's actually 18 because I use some extra stuff. So there's 18 inputs that I use regularly. Then there's another 4 that if I just need extra shit, just plug it in. It's already ready to go. And then at the bottom of the rack on the last channels, they're actually outputs. Even though it's the same, even though it's a male XLR,
right?
It's reversed. So I have, female XLR out. I've got male to males. So that's how I run my left, right, front of house, all my aux outs. Because a lot of times, if we're running our own show, we'll do subs on aux. We'll do a fill, like a center channel. We'll do stuff like that. And it's all right out of the front. Because I got sick and tired of going behind it, and like fishing out cables and shit like that. I was like, and the X32 rack, it's not, if you had to plug and unplug stuff into it constantly, you're going to break it. It's going to break. So mine is locked down to the point where nothing ever gets plugged in or unplugged. It is fully locked down. Whereas the seismic is heavy duty. I mean, that thing, you can jam stuff into that all day long. It's not going to care.
Yeah.
Right.
The split snake or whatever.
Yeah. Splitter snake. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
And then, I'm cheap. So I went, and I actually can't recommend this enough for people that are starting out. Phoenix Pro is,
I've seen that on stage.
wireless. Yeah.
And you even use it at like the Narrows when you guys are 3 feet away from it, and it just really keeps everything nice and solid.
Yeah. So I bought 4 Phoenix Pro PTM 10s, which are stereo in-ear monitors. They're integrated into the rack. And then I also got an antenna combiner. So you've got a paddle antenna. You can put it wherever you need to put it. And
that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. Paddle antenna. Yeah.
Okay.
It's got gain. It's got gain control. So you can turn the signal strength up or down. And, knock on wood. Well, I shouldn't even knock on wood. I've been doing it with that gear for 2 years. 2 years. And have had very few. I just get there really early and I test the frequencies, because here's the real downside to Phoenix or to the PTM 10. No scanning. You can't scan. So how do you find clean frequency bands? If you happen to go somewhere and the frequencies that you already have are bad, what are you going to do? So that required some ingenuity. So I bought a frequency scanner, just a little handheld. It's like $78. I can't remember the name of it. And you can go in, you can check anything, you know. So I just check the band. It's like 900 to 930 or 940. And I just find the cleanest areas within there. And then I set up the ears to that. And then away we go. And
like a little Radio Shack solution.
Seriously.
Huh?
Yeah. And one of those PTM 10s is like $210. So like a Shure 300 or I don't know if it's Shure or the you know the sort of industry standard ones, it would for what it cost to buy one of those, I got all four of mine. And yeah, those you can literally like push a button and connect it to your computer, push a button, it does its own scanning, it syncs the body packs, everything. So yeah, I mean, if I had the money, I would do it for sure, you know. But if you're on a shoestring budget, which, you know, I am trying to, like, as I started out in the beginning saying, this is a business. So yes, I could afford to buy the higher level gear, but not if I want it to be, not if I want the business to be in the black, you know. I mean, that's a major expenditure. So, and again, to me, I haven't had problems. I really have not had problems.
So can you give each person their own individual mix with those as well?
Yes. So everyone, yeah. So all my band members, everybody is required to have a minimum mixing station on their either phone or tablet. And then everybody has a stereo mix. Some people prefer mono. So I'm like, fine, I'm not going to force you to go stereo, you know. And, you know, stereo in this case doesn't mean like a pan knob for a channel. It means literally, you know, picture a bank of faders, right? You can set all your levels for your left ear and then push a button and then set all your levels for your right ear. So it's literally, you could say, you know, you can do any combination.
You have a different mix in each ear. That's wild.
Totally different mix in each ear. And it's, I researched this. It's kind of the industry standard. And the idea is, like, for me, I put my guitar and my vocals in my left ear, 100%. And then I'll put like a little bit of my guitar also in my vocals in my right ear. And then anything else I want to hear in my right ear. And it's super easy to just focus on my left ear if I'm like, you know, or focus on my right ear. Like, it really is, like, it's great. Also, for a lot of people, it gets a little bit claustrophobic to have that in your ear all night. So some people will take it out. If you can mix it in stereo like that, then you can be like, well, I don't need to hear the band, I just need to hear myself. So pop your ear out for a song. You can still hear yourself, but you've got, you know, open ear on the other side.
Interesting.
The other thing is, and I'm, you know, I don't have any allegiance to them, but the all clear in-ears, custom molded. I got mine. I actually have our logo on one of them. It's super cool. So like our logo is on the ear. And
they did that for you?
Yeah. Yep. They charge for it to put, like,
of course,
to put your logo on there.
Yeah.
But I didn't even buy. I bought like mid-range ones, and the sound blocking is the same no matter what. So as soon as you step into the custom mold, all the sound blocking is the same. The only thing that changes is the drivers, right? So I did like mid-range because, like, the main thing I want is just to not have a ton of noise, because I stand in front of the drummer all night.
Yeah.
You know, and it made a huge difference. I mean, I bought them maybe in early 2024, and I mean, I put them on, I can't hear anything from the outside world. So
nice.
So yeah, then I built another rack because we now have had several opportunities to play 2 gigs at the same time, because with that many members in the band,
you can do it. Yeah,
we can do it. And I've got leaders,
but you need somebody to be able to do all the tech.
I've got leaders like David Kittleson, like Daryl Bantari, who's a great bass player, plays with I'll get it. Hold on. Just for Kicks, Daryl Hesh, Daryl Bantari. What's that guy? What's the keyboard player's name? Jordan Brunsberg, great singer. She's also in Shredding Flannel. Anyway, so, and what I do is anytime we're going to do this double gig thing, I talk to both venues first. And I go, look, you know, venue A is like an an hour away from venue B or whatever. And I talked to him and I go, look, before I agree to play this gig, I just want to let you know, we've already got another gig scheduled the same night, same band. Are you okay with that? And so far, everybody's been okay with it. I haven't had anybody like complain or anything. So at the end of this month, February 28th, we're playing at Glick's downtown, great bar. And at the, and this one I'm really psyched about. Not that I'm not psyched about Glick's, but the 33rd annual Grumpy Old Men festival in Wabasha. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be super fun. Because it's, like a big beer tent and
Right.
like, all the things. So yeah, that's going to be super awesome.
Hopefully it'll be warm enough.
It's heated.
Is it?
They told me they were very, they were like, yes, it's heated. It is heated. It's heated. So
otherwise you'd be very grumpy old man by the end of that thing, right?
Yeah. Yep. But so like, being a gearhead, you know that you have to learn things. Like I had to learn a ton about sound engineering to pull all this off.
And I'm a drummer, and I know the surface, but I come, I have a network engineering degree, and I just I like to dabble and mess around with things.
Right.
So yeah. But I don't know notes, so
sure, missing
pieces of it, but yeah.
Yeah. So I, in order to do it, because especially like the X32, I mean, it's an old model or old, I don't know what you call it. They came out a long time ago, and the wing, like the Behringer wing, is like way better now. But man, that thing can do anything. Like it really is so powerful. It can run some phenomenal custom routing and just anything in there. Like it's really amazing. Like very, very, very cool. But with all that, it means you have to learn a lot. Yeah. So I spent a lot of time learning, like how everything works. And I've run sound at some of our own shows now where I'm not playing. I've got other people that are playing and I'm just running sound for them. And I love doing that too. I mean, it's pretty much everything relating to music I love doing. So
so is there a goal at all? It sounds like you went from being busy to being really busy.
Yeah.
So is there a goal at all to kind of get this to the point where you might be able to just kind of step back and you can just sit in the crowd and have a drink or two while the band does all the work?
Absolutely. And I'm happy to say that after only 8 months, we're almost there. We're so close. We've had several gigs now where I've said, I'm not playing, but I'll show up and help with the setup to show you guys how to set everything up. And then we've had 2 gigs where I was like, I'm not playing and I'm not going to be there to help you guys set up. And I got frantic phone calls on both of those. I'll be honest. I got from the leader. They were like, what do I do with it? And I explained it to them and we figured it out and they got it up and running. So, and then I showed up after.
Sometimes that is literally the best training they can have.
Yeah. And I agree.
Just to be a little stressed out,
totally
but
agree.
Make it through. And okay, now that fits in your toolbox, right?
Right. Totally agree.
Yeah.
So, no, I think what I want to do is, I want to, continue to improve on the quality of the production. So I'm super critical of myself, and I'm critical but not like I have good. Okay, so one of the things that we do that I think is fairly unique in the scene and that I think other people should really be doing is, since we're running in-ears, every input has to go through the X32. It is so easy to just hook a laptop up to it. And it's maybe a steep climb to get it all set up the first time. Once you get it set up the first time, you create a template. I use Reaper myself, but you could use whatever, Ableton, you name it. I record everything in multi-track. And then mix it, and then mix it down after. But all the EQs and the levels and the reverbs and the effects, everything is already set up in the template that it's recording into. So literally, all I have to do is at the end of the show, go in and slice up where the song barriers are, and then just say export the regions. They're called regions in Reaper, and that's it. And then it automatically exports to a Google Drive that everybody has access to.
Mm.
And I just post a thing on Discord saying, hey, the gig's up there, go listen to it. Or the rehearsal. So I record rehearsals. And what I've found is the musicians fix their issues themselves.
Hmm.
I'm the music director for the band. You know, I don't just listen to my own part. I listen to everybody. And I'm like, you know, but 90% of the time, I don't have to say anything to anyone. When I hear an issue, I just listen for it the next time. And I'm like, oh, it's gone. They listened to the recording. They figured out what they were doing wrong. They fixed it. So record. It is so important. I mean, it just, because if I had to also like sit there and like, you know, really go in depth with the players when there were things that weren't, because, you know, even a great musician is going to have things every once in a while that just aren't quite right.
Sure.
You know, they can go back and listen again in multi-track and they can hear what is not right and fix it themselves. The other thing, and this is really key for if you're bringing on new members in your band, I went and took so I took every song that we do. It's like 70 songs right now. And I created a version of every song with only vocals. With with male vocal left, female vocal right. Then I created a version of every song with like the guitars louder in the mix, et cetera, right? And so when I have new players that come on, I go, here's a link to the Google Drive that has all the repertoire in it. Do not listen to the studio versions of these songs. Listen to our versions, because otherwise I would have to explain, well, this is what we do when the song fades out. This is what we do. You know, we cut the chorus in half on this song. We do this on this song. I don't have to explain any of that. All my members
make sure they're listening to the right source.
Yep.
Yeah.
On like their first rehearsal, I go, you're listening to the Shredding Flannel versions, right? And they're like, hopefully they're like, yeah. And I can tell if they're not, because everybody is playing the quote unquote correct Shredding Flannel version. All of a sudden they keep going or something like that, you know? And it's like, no, man, listen to that version, because it encapsulates all of the nuance of the changes, you know, all the detail, the minutia of all those changes, that it just would be too much work to explain it, you know, every time a new member came on. You know, it's too much. So I've had people that they ramp up super fast. And one of the big things that I've found, background vocals. People really struggle with background vocals. And by taking that like vocal only version and just telling them like, male vocals panned right, female vocals panned left. Put some headphones in and learn your background vocals. They literally it's right there. Just listen to listen to your part. That's it. Because I toyed around with the idea of like requiring everybody to use, what's it called? Ultimate tabs, right? And to say, this is the tab for this song, and this is the tab. But I don't, that a lot of people aren't that technical, like especially singers, they've never even heard of it, right? They're not going to look at that. So, but it's allowed people to ramp up super fast. And then the other thing I do is, are you familiar with stage tracks? Okay. So I use stage tracks. Well. Okay. I use stage tracks. I have every song that we do in stage tracks, and the audio for every song in stage. So, how you can do a lyric only or a like MP3 stage tracks. The MP3s are the actual Shredding Flannel songs. So the singers, I'm like, here's stage tracks. There's all your lyrics, and the lyrics are timed to the actual audio that you're going to be singing and the versions that we're doing. So that also has been hugely helpful. And some of my musicians, singers are in kind of a different boat with all the lyrics that they have to memorize. So some of my singers, if we're in a pinch, I'll be like, yeah, you can use your iPad on stage for vocals, but that's it, we have to get off of it, right? The goal is, if we have to get through a gig, we can do it, but you got to get off of it. So that's been super helpful too. And it's really funny. So you use stage tracks, so maybe you know this, but if you hit play and you have an actual song. So again, like stage tracks, you can have lyrics only, or you can have lyrics with audio behind it.
Mhm.
So I've had members of the band before where they're using stage tracks and they hit play and they forget to turn their volume down on their iPad. So you're literally in a gig, and all of a sudden I'm hearing, like, through their mic, I'm hearing the recording of us playing that song coming out of their iPad. And I run over and I'm like, you gotta turn it down. It's pretty funny. So
It's absolutely how I hoped this conversation would go, because I was very fascinated as a gearhead, you know, as a tech head, as somebody who's trying to put all this stuff together myself. I was
Yeah.
very impressed because I could see all the work and the time and the effort,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I had no idea really that I was only seeing, you know, the tip of the
Oh, yeah.
iceberg.
Oh, God, yeah.
There's so much work that you've
We've
put
only
in.
talked about the tip of the iceberg. There's way more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I know we have limited time here. So I want to get back to your last question though, and then I don't know if we're out of time, but long term, I want to improve quality, and improve the quality of the gigs too. Meaning, I'm always using like average revenue and things like that as a barometer, right? To say like, yeah, we're getting better. We're getting better and better gigs. If you can gauge better gig by more pay, right? So just always trying to improve, you know, constant improvement. And part of that is also trying to crack into like the private event market. So like I'm starting to look at like wedding planner conventions and things like that, you know, birthday things, stuff like that, to try to get more of the private events, because those are super fun. And
Yeah.
and then like eventually kick back, pick the shows I want to do, have other people that are really have their shit together. Pardon my French. I don't know if you can swear on this thing,
Yes,
but
but yeah, we speak French here. It's okay.
fuck yeah, all right. So and then kick back, and then eventually, I mean, I'm not going to do this forever. So, you know, I think that eventually the sort of intellectual property, the systems that I'm developing, all that kind of stuff, the relationships, that's huge. Probably try to sell it at some point, you know, just take somebody from the band that's already, probably it would be somebody already in the band, and just say, hey man, I don't want to do this anymore. I'll give you the keys to the castle. Pay me over 5 years, whatever. I don't care, you know? But like, I just, I think that as a 53-year-old, it keeps me young, but it also really messes with my sleep cycle. I mean, I have a day job, dude. I'm a real estate broker.
Sure.
I'll sell you a house, you know?
Right.
But when you have a double gig weekend and you're coming home at 2:00 in the morning on Saturday morning and Sunday morning, and then
With
you
all
got
the
it
gear that you need
with
to
all the gear,
unpack.
yeah,
Yes,
hauling all the gear and everything.
I'm
I
not only
mean,
the drummer, but I also own everything. So it's like,
oh
fuck yeah.
yeah, then you can relate then,
I
yeah. So
can.
you own the
I can.
PA.
I do.
Oh yeah, man. It's
So
yeah.
carry everything in, carry everything out. My
Do you use a
wife is
trailer,
my
or
wife is not usually happy about being the other person helping move everything.
Yeah.
So thankfully my band is all, I mean, they all throw in where they can, but
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can't,
me
you
too,
can't always
yeah.
get them to come over to the house at Sunday at 9:00 in the morning to unload the truck again.
Right.
So
Yeah.
no, we have a van. So
Okay.
everything
okay.
we need, we have fits in our Honda Odyssey until now, but we haven't, that's not true. So I haven't really had to bring out PA to shows yet. So
Okay.
I have full PA, but I haven't really had to transport. If I did, I would probably have to take 2 cars.
Yeah. I got a trailer for that, so I have a 4x6, and
We'll get there
it's
eventually.
awesome. Yeah. But yeah, it's and also like it can be stressful, you know, like this last weekend, I had one female singer that was supposed to sing at Glicks, and she was sick. So now all of a sudden, now this is actually one of the genius things about the collective, if you can manage it. I was like, okay, so that's stressful, but I've got 4 other singers I can turn to, 4 other female singers that I can turn to and say, hey, can you do, and everybody's up on the repertoire, everybody's ready to go. So a lot of bands would have had to cancel that gig. I was able to pivot and say, hey, can you come in? It was actually Laura Holm who covered.
Yep.
So she came in, and then the day before, or maybe it was the night of, no, the day before, I also found out from another band member that the band that was supposed to play at the Barn, Cowboy Jack's downtown, had to cancel, or was maybe going to have to cancel due to an illness.
I saw that gig. The band was pretty freaking happy with that one. Nice crowd, and
Yes,
it looked like a lot of fun. That is a fun, rowdy place.
that is a super fun place.
Yeah.
Super fun. So there again, I was able to in very, very, very short notice, get everybody to come on board. So, and I think I'd say 80 to 85% of my members are in other bands too. And some of them get a little freaked out when they're like, well, I'm in another band. I'm like, great. I don't, because some bands are very protective.
Yes.
Like, I don't want, if
Sure.
you're going to be in my band, you can't be in any other band.
Sure.
I respect that. That's how they want to run their business or their band. That's fine. But for us, it just really gives people the flexibility. I've got one guy that plays like maybe once a month, if that. And he's super happy, loves it. His wife really loves it. Like, she's ecstatic. So, but then I've got other people that play 4 or 5 times in a month.
Yep.
And we've got 8 gigs this month. I play, I don't know, like 6. And honestly, that's starting to become too much for me. Like,
Yeah, I can imagine.
I've got a girlfriend and a life, and I want to do other stuff too. So it's, I'm hoping that we can keep getting better, continuous improvement, and I can get to a point where like there's a gig and I don't even have to think about it. Like, literally not even think about it. That would be awesome.
That would be pretty cool.
That will be
man.
awesome. It will be awesome.
It's going to happen.
It will. I think it will.
I think so.
Yep.
All right. So I got 2 questions, and we should wrap
Sure,
up.
man. Yeah.
One question, and maybe you don't know the answer to it, but you said maybe Ted Bonafede came up with the name.
Yeah.
What did the name mean?
Shredding Flannel?
Where the hell did it come from? Yes.
Well, I think it's an awesome name. I really love the name. And it comes from a combination of from the 90s, right? So shredded jeans was a big thing in the 90s. It kind of started in the 90s, like having your knees shredded, right?
Okay.
And then flannel, obviously, grunge, right?
Kurt Cobain's favorite outfit.
Cobain, there you go, exactly.
Okay.
But then also there's a double entendre, the guitar shredding.
Okay.
So shredding flannel, like, there's shredding, and yeah, so
I
loved it. As soon as I heard it, I was like, that's the name. And then, people in the band were like, well, what if there's another band? And we did some research, and there was another band called, I think, just Flannel.
Yeah.
And
I
think they
I've
might
heard of that.
still be around.
Yeah.
And I was like,
they're not shredding flannels.
I looked at their gig schedule, and they were gigging like maybe once a month, and I was like, I don't think it's going to be a problem, whatever. So we rolled with it, and they got in touch with us after things really started to take off, and they weren't pissed or anything. They were just more curious, And I was like, yeah, here's what it is. Let's do a show together sometime.
Right.
Like, let's do the Flannel show.
Right. I mean, they had 2 Iron Maiden tributes play the same show. Why not?
There you go.
Lots
Exactly.
of flannel. All the flannel you could ever want.
Totally.
All right. So last question is the last question I ask everybody. Who's next? Who do you recommend should be on this show next?
Oh, honestly, yeah, I know who. David Kittleson.
Okay.
Have you seen him play?
I've seen the guy through the internet, but I've never actually.
I did thank
I don't
you
even think
post.
I've met him in person before.
I did a thank you post for the barn.
Okay.
Today. I put it out, and there's video on it, and some of it has David Kittleson in it. Watch the videos. There's like maybe 3 or 4 videos in the thank you post.
Okay.
He's the bass player.
Yeah.
He is like the most dynamic, energetic, he's just running around the stage, running out into the crowd. But even if he's just standing in his spot, he's just doing all
got
these
the energy,
crazy, and the ladies love him. I mean, we played at the Narrows a bunch of times, and the housewives were just like, "Who's your bass player?" They love him, love him. So, I would definitely, and I'm like, he's also a great player. So doing all this stuff, he's still playing really well. And then on top of that, he's got a deeper understanding of the business, right? Because he is, as you pointed out, he was a lead for Shirts and Skins. So he would run shows for them.
Mm-hmm.
But he also books gigs. And a lot of bands like that, like I've been in bands where we sit in the basement for years
Mm-hmm.
and we never get a gig. There's so many, it's like that book, The E-Myth, right? Just because you know how to bake a really good pie doesn't mean you should go into business baking pies, because to go into business as an entrepreneur, you need to know accounting, marketing, sales, baking, et cetera, et cetera. You need to have all these different facets, right?
Yeah.
So there's probably some bands out there that are phenomenal, but they never get out of the basement
Yeah.
because they don't have the soft skills, right, to interact with agents or venues or whatever.
Absolutely.
So David has that too. He has actually booked a bunch of our upcoming gigs for us.
Nice.
And he has his own agency, so I'm sure he'd love to talk to you about that too.
Is that
He's
right?
trying to kind of get that off the ground.
Yeah, I would love to talk to agents anyway. So that's great. It's a great segue into that. So thank you.
Yeah, no
Awesome,
problem, man.
Hopefully this has been fun for you.
Super fun.
Really
I appreciate
enjoyed
it. Yeah, it's super fun.
Hey there, Minnesota music family. If I haven't personally reached out to you yet, consider this your 100% official invitation to join me on the Minnesota Music Note. I'm Will McLeod, co-founder of the podcast crew here in beautiful Robbinsdale, host of the show, and the guy behind the kit for the band Hits and the Misses. I started this podcast because I want to get to know the people who make our scene tick. Whether you're fronting a band, spinning hip-hop, running sound, booking shows, running shows, or teaching the next generation of talent, your story belongs here. We've had everyone from videographers to festival organizers on the mic, and we're just getting started. It doesn't matter if you're playing arenas or just making magic in your basement. If you're part of the Minnesota music community, I want to chat. Slide into my DMs or hit the email below, and let's hang out and talk shop.